Hello, how are you today? Yes, I'm a smoker. That's the way it is. That's a fact of life. I'm a smoker. And here's another fact of life. When I was a toddler, I was raised for a while by a black woman. She was like my second mom. And when I was in the military, I dated a very pretty black girl for a while. And I'm not racist against any race of people. Only stupid people are racist against an entire race. There are good people and bad people in all races. And if you hate the entire race, the entire white race, because they're white and not black like you, then you're just a very stupid person. If you hate the black race just because you're white, then you're a very stupid person. If you hate all the Jews because you're a non-Jew or Muslim, then you're a very stupid person. And if you're a Jew who hates all Arabs and hates all non-Jewish people, then you're a stupid person. You can't hate an entire race just because they're white or black or Jewish or Arab or Orient or anything else, because that's only stupid, ignorant people do that. So if that's the way you are, then you're a very stupid, ignorant person. Now, I'm going to say, now that I've prefaced that, I'm going to say something that's a fact. You know, there'll be some people say, oh, that is so racist what he said. Oh, he's such a bigot. It's got nothing to do with bigotry. It's got nothing to do with racism. It's a fact. I'm talking about black folks, African Americans. You know, you gripe about slavery. You say, oh, how terrible it was that your ancestors suffered slavery. Yes, I agree. Slavery is a terrible thing. The Jews were enslaved by the Egyptians. The Romans enslaved people, many of them Christians, and then they fed Christians to the lions. By the way, as a side comment, Jewish people who were still bitching about World War II and Adolf Hitler, do you hear us Christians still griping about the Romans throwing the Christians to the lions and being eaten alive? Get over it. Come on. We've had it. We've heard enough of it. Okay? It's not going to happen again. I mean, give it a rest. You don't hear us Christians still crying about being thrown to the lions. And the black people enslaved. And you know, just about every race of people, every culture at one time or another in the history of mankind have been in slavery. It's a bad thing. Okay, I agree. But what I get sick and tired of hearing is hearing the black people say, oh, we should be compensated because our ancestors were enslaved. Okay, you want to be compensated? Fine. We give you the money, you go to your ancestors' grave, dig up the grave, toss the money in with them and bury them again. Because they're the ones that suffered, not you. You have no right to be compensated for their suffering. They're the ones that suffered. They should get compensated, not you. And now we're talking about your ancestors. In a morbid sort of way, you should be grateful that the slave traders brought your great-great-great-great-grandfather here. Because if they had not kidnapped your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather and brought him here to the United States as a slave, where would you be? Where would you have been born? In the United States? 99 chances out of 100, no, you wouldn't have. If your great-great-great-great-grandfather was never taken out of Africa, but left there, 99 and 9/10% chances are that you would have been born in Africa. You wouldn't be an African American. You'd just be strictly African. You wouldn't be a citizen of the United States of America. So in a morbid sort of way, you should be grateful to the slave traders who brought your grandfather here. Although your grandfather or grandmother or whoever was brought here and made a slave, you're an American citizen because they were brought here. And the slave traders brought them. And if it had not brought them here, you would be in Africa, in the jungles, in the Congo, in Nigeria, in South Africa, who knows where. But you would not be an African American. You would just be strictly an African. So in a morbid sort of way, slavery was a good thing for you. You weren't made a slave, but the fact that your ancestors were brought here as slaves benefited you. You benefited from that. That is your compensation. You don't need any more compensation. You're an American citizen because of the suffering that your ancestors went through. Done.